Hey y'all! I had time to film a second video this week, so I am. And number one, thanks for all the support on my last video. I got way more views on that sit down talking video than vlog, so I think I'm just gonna keep on doing this because it's my jam, it's my thing. So I just want to say thanks for the support, thanks for sharing and like commenting and following me on YouTube. I hate to be that person, but if you have not subscribed, go right ahead so that you can know immediately when I upload something new. And it'll just help and share so other people can subscribe. So today I'm talking about adult friendships. Something that, I don't know. I'm just talking about what I have learned so far when it comes to adult friendships. It's a lot different than being in college or even being like in school, like high school, because everyone is so much more spread out. And I feel like adults, I don't know, I just feel like the older that especially women get, sometimes it can be hard to make friends, keep friends, like understand how that whole thing works. I think the dynamics are really different, especially when you start having families and like start moving away and getting married and your life changes. And now that I'm getting to the age where I have friends who are married or getting married or whatever, like you just have friends who have kids, who have husbands, like it's getting to that age. And so it's a lot different, and therefore I think that you kind of have to move a little differently, and your thought process when it comes to friends has to be different. So the first thing I've learned about like having adult friendships is that you really have to step out of your comfort zone in order to have friends. It's not like high school where you're with a whole bunch of people your age in one day, and it's not like college where your friends are in your classes, are like literally feet away from you in the next dorm or down the street from you, or you can just meet up all the time, or you're like with a bunch of people your same age. I think they say like college is like the one time where it's like everyone in your age range are all living together like 24/7. So that's why it's so much easier to have friends, because it's convenient. But when you're an adult, like your friends might be in another state, you know, you might be traveling all the time. There are just other things that vie for your attention, and sometimes you are not in spaces where you have a bunch of people your age. Maybe you work with a bunch of older people, or like, you know, it's just corporate America, or maybe you work from home. It's just so much easier to be alone when you're an adult. So you have to step out of your comfort zone, and you have to get involved in things. Like if you go to church, get involved at your church. If you have a hobby, if you like doing stuff, you need to go out and like have fun and meet people, meet different types of people. That's where you will find friends. You're not going to find them by just sitting at home. Or if you do go to a church, or you do go to, or you are somewhere and you just are kind of like sitting there and not being involved, like, and then you complain that you don't have friends, or like nobody invites you to stuff, it's like you're not doing anything. So step out of your comfort zone. Everybody loves a friendly person, okay? If you know me, you know that I will slide in your DMs if I want to be your friend, and I'll be like, let's go to lunch. I've done it plenty of times. Or I'll hit you up, or like I'll get to know you more. Like you just have to put yourself out there. It's not like it's I don't know, that's just me. I know not everybody's like that, and it's hard, and you're like, wait, if they think I'm weird. Everybody loves friendly people. Everybody loves to talk about themselves when you ask questions. So I don't see why anyone would be like, ew, she's DMing me to be a friend. Like, there is that chance, but more than likely, they're going to be very grateful that you did that, and they're going to be like, wow, she is really friendly. And sometimes I think I can come off a little, like, too hyper, too excited, but I love meeting people. I love hanging out with women that are on the same path as me, and that we can talk. Like, that literally gives me life. So I will slide in a DM real quick and be like, let's go to lunch. So if you want to go to lunch, slide in my DM. Okay, thank you. We can all go to lunch together. That would be so fun. Anyways, number two, I learned to have no expectations. Like, I am a really low maintenance friend. And I have a lot of people in my life. The people who are closest to me are the same way. So, at my former job, it's exhausting. Sometimes I wouldn't be able to text back. Sometimes I'm way too tired to talk on the phone at night, and I would just be exhausted. And sometimes I would forget to text people back. And I used to never be like that, especially when I was in college. I was always that person who would text you back. But now, I may not, and you have to charge it to my head, not my heart. Just shoot me another text or something. It is what it is. And then, so back on track. I don't have expectations for my friends. Of course, when I say that, I don't mean that I don't have boundaries or they can talk to me any kind of way or they have to disrespect me or just ignore me. No. I mean, I don't expect you to be at my beck and call. I don't expect you to always hang out when I want to hang out. If you are busy, if you just had a huge life change, you just had a baby, you just got married, I'm going to give you that space. And if, we don't hang out as much because you're married or you have a new baby or you're, trying to adjust and you have to, basically look out for consider more people now in your life, I will not be offended. Of course, I'll miss you and I'll be like, oh man, things have changed, but it's nothing that I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I hate her, she just doesn't want to hang out with me. I don't take things personally as much as I used to. Now I'm like, oh, okay, well, she gotta go with her boo, or oh, she has to take care of her baby, or she has to adjust. When you are an adult and you get married and then you have kids, I don't have kids or a husband, but I totally understand that dynamics change because now there are people who take priority over everybody else. And who am I to be oh, you need to prioritize me? No, I'm a friend. I'm here for you if you need me. But I'm not trying to get in the way of nobody's husband or child. I'm not trying to get in the way of your family. So don't have expectations. If somebody, I don't know, if someone is, how do I say this? So for me, there's different categories. You have your close circle of friends, those people that know you very well and that you always hang out with or always talking to, and they are just close to your heart. Then you have acquaintances, or I like to call them going to lunch friends. You guys may meet up, go to lunch sometimes, and it's cool, and that's what it is. And when I know someone's role in my life and my role in theirs, there's a huge decrease in my expectations. If I realize hey, you and me are cool, but I think we're just going to lunch friends, I don't expect much. And so I think that that's important too, just knowing your role in other people's lives, knowing their role in your lives, so you won't be disappointed when you realize, oh shoot, she got other close friends and we're not. And it's it's okay, it happens, but just know your role, know what season of life they're in and you're in, and then just don't have expectations, let it flow. Have grace for people's seasons. If your friend is in med school or something and she's working 2 jobs, and chill out. I'm sure she still loves you, but she is probably trying to make it through school and trying to make it through school alive, So have grace for people. Instead of just assuming someone doesn't talk to you, check up on them and be like, hey, I was just thinking of you, I miss you. And it's a whole lot better than being like, hey, I haven't heard from you, why don't you talk to me anymore? So, I don't know, that's just me. So I'm very low maintenance. I really don't require someone to text me every single day or to hang out with me all the time. I'm very chill with that. I have learned not to take things personal. Which leads me to my next point, number 3, don't force it. Don't, which kind of, I already talked about it in my last point. If someone has a certain space in your life and that's just what it is, let it be what it is. So, like I said, if this person is just someone that you're really cool with and when you guys do get together, it's great conversation, but you're not this, close, that's okay. I don't think that everyone will have play the same role in your life. And I think that if you want a ton of people to be your best friend, that's way too high of an expectation. And you always want to make sure that you're not using people to fill a void because you're scared of being alone or you're scared of being left out, which is something I had to deal with, like, in my own self. Like, am I disappointed in a person because I need to have, like, a certain amount of friends, and I need you to be close to me so you can affirm that I'm cool, or I want to be your friend because it looks cool. Like, you just have to deal with your own issues so that you're not, like, projecting them on someone else. So don't force it. Like, if you see that someone is kind of distant from you, let it be that. I mean, I know in some situations things may need to be addressed, but sometimes it's just people grow and they change and they grow apart. Like, especially after college, like, when you finally are by yourself and you realize who you want to be, things will change. And it doesn't always have to be bad. It doesn't always have to be an argument. It's just that things will change, and that is okay. Be okay with, like, letting people, like, be who they are in your life, be who they want to be in your life. And if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you, and maybe you need to distance yourself in order to, you know, not be offended. I don't know how that goes. I haven't really had a true, like, friend breakup in a while. I just feel like you naturally start growing apart from people, in that sometimes it's okay and it's for the better, and not to be offended when that happens, and not to feel bad if vice versa, if you feel that happening between you and somebody else. Like, we're all changing, we're all evolving, and naturally, like, we take on different interests, different seasons, we grow, we go a different way. Like, it's okay, but don't force the relationship to be what you think it should be. Sometimes it's best to let things go. Sometimes. Now, sometimes you do need to talk it out. Maybe there's some underlying issues, and that's okay too. But most of all, you can't force someone to be what they don't want to be in your life. Another one that I have is don't keep score. I read this book called Scary Close by Donald Miller, and it is so good, and I'm going to link that below too, because basically it's about, you know, it's about intimacy, like, you know, why he was having intimacy problems, why we as, you know, humans have intimacy problems. And he had a whole chapter on mechanisms of manipulation. Oh my gosh, it saved my life. So he talked about one of the tools that we use to manipulate is scorekeeping. And so what happens is we'll be like, well, I asked her out to lunch last time, so I'm waiting for her to ask me to lunch. And basically he was saying that is manipulative because it's always skewed, because it's your scoreboard. Like, it's your own scoreboard, so it's always going to be biased. It's never going to be fair. So I stopped keeping score. I stopped. I was like, if I want to have true friends, then I am going to be the inviter. I'm going to invite people to do things as much as I want to, and I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, she didn't invite me last time, da-da-da. Now, I know there are situations where you feel like you're doing most of the heavy lifting in the relationship and it's not reciprocated. That's different, and I feel like maybe you shouldn't be mad, but just like we talked about in the last point, you should reevaluate that person's role in your life and give it the appropriate energy. If I realize that someone is really not interested in being my friend, I'm going to peep that, and I'm still going to be nice and cordial, but I'm not going to extend so much energy because I can't force you to be my friend if you don't want to be. So, I'm not talking about that because that's important. You shouldn't waste your energy on people who really don't care to celebrate you or be your friend or be close to you. That's unfair to you. But what I am saying is don't get so caught up on, oh, she didn't text me back, I ain't texting her back. I text who I want to text. Like, if I want to check on you, I'm going to check on you. I stop myself from fearing, like, the loving and nurturing person that I am. Like, you know, if, you know, we're friends, I'm going to check up on you and be like, hey, girl, this happened. I'm not thinking about, oh, you didn't text me back in how many hours? Like, I don't know what that person is going through. My friends are busy people. They have lives. They have side business, like side hustles going on. Like, they are some bomb boss women. So I can't be expecting them to, like, answer my every text like that. So I don't care. So, Yeah, don't keep score. Don't keep score. Just be nice and be you. And I think when I stopped keeping score, it really freed me to just be myself and just have fun and meet people. And like I said, don't be afraid to just invite people out. Don't be afraid for you to be the one, because a lot of times we're sitting there and we're like, no one ever invites me. And it's like, but do you invite people? So community is super important as adults. We really need community. But I think that our own fears of vulnerability and our ways of wanting to control people, and the fact that we use people to fill voids that, like, I feel only God can fill, I think that stops us from friendships. Because I have, like, my relationship with God is growing stronger, and because I'm able to, like, love myself more than anything, I'm able to let people off the hook, because they are not, like, my points of approval, like, for love. Like, I don't find my love or approval from people as much as I did before. Like, of course, I'm learning and growing. It's not perfect, but I used to be that person that was like, oh my gosh, like, I need them to like me. I need them to like me. I need this group to invite me. It's like, no. Once you realize, like, where you get your true love from, yourself and God, like, you really don't need people to fill that void. I'm not saying you don't need people at all, because we do need people, like, for community, but we don't need so much of their time and attention. We don't need to suck them dry, like, to make us feel better, to fill us up, because we're already full. So it's like, we're able to love freely and give it out freely because we are full of love from ourselves and from God. So yeah, so talk back to me. Do you feel like adult friendships have been hard? Do you have friends? Do you have, long-lasting friendships? Is it hard for you to keep your friendships? Of course, I'm always trying to think of better ways for me to be a better friend. Better ways for me to be better, whatever. To be a better friend. Like, I want to be a better friend. I'm a very, like, hands-on loving person. But sometimes I do get caught up in my own stuff and I forget to, like, check on people. So that's something that I have to work on myself. Let me know down in the comments just about adult friendships and, like, what maybe you can do to be a better friend, make more friends, and yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.